coming. He has a lot of really good new material. I think his rapping is better than it's ever been.
Which is scary because it's always been pretty elite.
Yeah, and it's like he's got a new style, and it's kind of like I think a lot of people weren't really, sure about maybe at the time. But like you got to really pay attention to what he's saying because he's doing crazy alliteration.
How did you meet him?
All right, so we had been posting him for like, I don't know when we started posting him, maybe like 2016 or so. But it was usually Ty that had handled that because I think DJ Victorious, who was kind of putting his tapes together at the time with Real Mac, was sending them to Ty directly. So Ty, one day it's like a, shitty Chicago winter day. It was February. And I was getting ready to leave to LA to go to the Grammys. And I just had my computer on, and I always turn my autoplay off, right? But I had restarted my computer or something, and my autoplay turned back on YouTube. And the Shell video randomly came on my autoplay. It was like the next song after I had something on. And it stopped me, and I was like, yo, what the hell is this song? And I went, It was Valee Shell, and I was like, oh my God, this is Valee? And then I played Shell over. I played it like 20 times. And I started sending it to people. I'm like, yo, am I bugging, or is this like the hottest thing ever? And everybody was like losing their minds, like, yo, this is crazy. And then I tweeted it, and then people were going crazy for it. And he had been following me. So I sent him a DM like, yo, man, let's jump on the phone. And we spoke, and the conversation was so crazy because we had this whole conversation about his career and music and what he was doing. And then he was like, before we hung up, he was like, hey man, if you ever need somebody to build anything at your crib, just let me know. He was like, I just built my mom a bar in her house, and it's really nice. And I laid tile on it, and I put the sink in, and it's was made out of this material. So he's pitching me. He's not even usually people are like, yo, let's do this. Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? This man's offering to come to my house to do carpentry. And I was like, wow, this dude is insane. This guy's so different, right? And I'll wrap this up. I don't want to get too long-winded, but this is a funny end to that story. I was like, I got to go to LA to go to the Grammys. Let's meet when I come back. And I come back a week later, and I call him. He doesn't answer. I'm texting. He doesn't answer. Keep calling this dude, and he doesn't answer. I'm like, oh, I guess he doesn't want to mess with me. Guess he doesn't like me. And then a couple weeks later, I get a DM from him. He's like, yo, man, why didn't we never link up? I thought we were supposed to hook up. And I'm like, dude, I've been calling you. And he's like, oh, my bad. I didn't save your number. He's like, this is a weird thing about me. I don't save phone numbers. I just memorize them. That's when I knew that I had to work with this dude, because who the hell does that anymore?
Bro, it'd be those idiosyncrasies about people that you really know that they're a star, where you're just like, yo, this is how you naturally operate.
It's just how he lives his life.
Yeah, bro. That's so cool. I feel like he's just he's definitely one of the more influential rappers right now. People don't want to admit that right now, but we gonna keep turning the tide on Twitter until people recognize that shit. And I also feel visually, bro, all his visuals have been A1. I don't play a lot of people's music videos on my TV other than high level shit that I feel it's stimulating my mind in some type of way, or they just have some different ideas. So creatively, bro, Valee is up there for me right now, and he's underrated. So I'm excited. He's
super underrated, man, and I appreciate that. And I want to make sure that he gets his flowers, because people are still rapping like he was in 2018 now. So it's
big time.
We want to make sure everybody hears the new shit.
He was one of those. I remember the first time. Stiz is always, I feel like artists are always the best A&Rs, but Stiz put, I don't know what year it was, probably 2016 or 17 latest, but no, it was definitely 16. We were in the studio. Stiz is 2 to 3 years early on literally everything. I can't tell you how many artists he's put me onto before they blow up eventually, but we were in the studio in New York with vinyls, and Stiz was like, I got to play you guys both something. He had told me, I think, his name, but he hadn't played or sent it to me before. And he was so excited that even before he and Vinyl started to work and go through beats, he was like, yo, I got to play you some shit. And it was I Got Whatever followed by Shell. He played both those. And off both those, I remember I stopped it like halfway through. I got whatever. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? This is crazy. It reminded me like a little bit of like the flow, a little bit of Johnny Cinco, who like had like a little wave in Atlanta years ago that I like loved. It was that like kind of slurred on the verse, the way he does it. But both those songs back to back, I was like, this is just wild. Crazy.
Yeah.
Instant fan. Yeah.
Instant fan. And like, I just knew I had to work with it, man. So, you know, appreciate the support. You guys always showed a lot of love with him and your artists. So, you know, really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we had a bunch of music lined up, but I figured this would happen. We just ended up talking the whole time. So we'll ride it out with a couple songs. Barber, talk about your two picks. You sent the Valee song Trident with Chase the Money, and then the Bronson song. Just intro those two songs real quick.
Yeah. So Trident is a song that Chase the Money Valee did. Actually, just a few months. They dropped it a few months ago. That I felt kind of flew under the radar because, you know, as Chase does sometimes, you know, he'll just throw stuff out there and not even tell you. But he basically held Valee hostage until he shot the video. So he actually had like a truck pull up in front of his studio, like a U-Haul type of truck that had like a movie thing in it, and made him film it right then because he knew otherwise. Valee hates shooting videos. He's the most elusive guy ever. He was like, if you don't shoot the video now, like we don't make him do the video, there will be no video. So thankfully there's a video for it. The wordplay on it's incredible. I just feel like more people need to hear it. The other pick is a new Action Bronson record that has Rock Marciano on it. Bronson and Rock are two of my favorites. I really, really love the new Action Bronson album. I think there's some really good stuff on there. My initial pick was Jaguar, but then Tim told me somebody else picked it recently. So I'm like, all right, let's go with this other one. So
I said it was a fan favorite. We had Jared Weiss, Celtics writer, on here last week, and he's a top level music connoisseur too. He picked Jaguar, and him and you both have implored me to listen to that album, so I'm going to do that today.
Yeah, man. So those are my picks, man. So hopefully everybody enjoys them.
Yeah, Q, you got any last notes here?
I just want to say thank you, Andrew, for joining